And in today's Top Talker, if you go to tonight's Guardians game, you'll spend $5 for a single beer. 50 years ago tonight, as part of a promotion to help boost sagging attendance, the Cleveland Indians offered beers for 10 cents apiece. What could possibly go wrong, right? Just about everything.
To truly understand what happened on 10-cent beer night, you have to go back a week prior, when the Indians and Rangers were involved in a brawl in a game in Texas. After the game, reporters asked Rangers manager Billy Martin if he was worried about going to Cleveland the next week. Longtime Cleveland baseball fan Scott Jarrett has a new book out titled 10-Cent Beer Night.
They said, "Are you going to take your armor to Cleveland?" And he said, "No, they don't have enough fans to worry about."
And normally there was only 5,000 people, 8,000 people. But that night there was a flash-up crowd of over 20,000.
That was Terry Yurkic. Remember him. The crowd came to the game 50 years ago tonight for two reasons: 10-cent beers and to show Billy Martin, but mostly for the cheap beer.
And it was basically, just stick it in Billy Martin's ear, and we got to show him that we do have enough fans to worry about.
For 50 cents, we got a ticket in the bleachers, and for another 50 cents, we had 5 beers. So for $1, we had 5 beers and a ticket into the ballpark. I mean, it was heaven for us back then.
Under a full moon on that Tuesday night 50 years ago, it was obvious right away this night would be different.
During the national anthem, apparently a beer vendor and a fan got in a brawl. So that kind of set some tone throughout the ballpark.
As the game went on, it was really, fans were getting upset. It was taking so long to get beer. People took the tables. There were 2 girls. One was taking the money, one was filling the beers. They took the tables and threw the tables off to the side. The girls walked off and left the beer truck for us.
Unattended.
Unattended. And nobody ever came back. So people were filling their own containers. People were standing underneath, flipping the tap and drinking out of it.
It became like a college kegger.
It did.
And the more the beer flowed, the more things got out of hand.
Inning by inning, the streakers got more and more confident, and the players, I think, kind of just put up with it and were kind and would, shake hands with them, and then they would go back into the stands, I think, without any repercussions.
When the fans first started running out in the 4th inning, if the police would have cracked down on them hard, maybe the other fans wouldn't have been so eager to run back out on the field after that.
In the 9th inning, right after they had tied the game, John Lowenstein, who is a great character, a lot of fun, hit a sacrifice fly. The run came home, and a young man named Terry Yurkic, who was a Cleveland State wrestler, decided that he might like a souvenir, and I think that the rest is history. And
I ran up behind Jeff Burrows, and I swiped at his hat, and I had it in my hand. And I dropped it. I bent down to pick it up, and I looked up at him, he looked at me, and I said, "Oh, hell." And so I got up to run away, and he kicked me right in the thigh and left perfect spike marks. And he fell down. He didn't get hurt nothing. He just slipped and fell. And Billy Martin thought he had gotten hurt, so he told the Rangers grab bats, and they ran out towards me and were chasing me in the outfield.
Let me tell you, it was crazy. I never seen so many people run around in my life. I mean, you were just sitting down, they'd run right by you just to get to the field.
There were skirmishes all over the place. The organist continued to play, thinking that he would kind of quell the riot. And
At that point, it's kind of like the band on the Titanic still playing as the ship goes down.
That's right. That's a good analogy.
I regret doing it, but luckily nobody was seriously hurt, which could have been, because each inning there was more fireworks going off, there was more explosives going off. At the end with the riot.
Now it's a full-scale riot. And that was the voice of the late, great Joe Tate, who was calling the game on radio. Here are some 10-cent beer night facts by the numbers. There were 3 stolen bases. They were stolen by fans. When they stormed the field,
literally stolen.
They pulled the bases and they took them home, never to be found again. By the way, if you have one of those and you'd like to sell it to me, give me a call here at the station. Lord. There were 7 emergency room visits, 9 arrests. There were 19 different streakers in the course of the game.
Just men?
There was actually some women, too.
All right.
50 security guards, forget this, 25,000 fans, 60,000 beers were served, and the final score officially goes down as 9-0 because that's the way a forfeit is recorded. The winning team gets a run for each inning. So the official final score was 9-0. And there was one other fact that I wanted to share with you. The great Tim Russert, the late great Tim Russert of NBC News, was studying law at Cleveland State at the time. He was at the game and he was once asked, how much beer did you drink? And he said, I had $2 in my pocket. You do the math. So Tim was well served that night. 20 10-cent beers.
Well, if you've got 25,000 fans and 60,000 beers served,
yeah,
that tells you the shape that people were probably in.
That's exactly right. And as a result, you have one of the craziest nights in Cleveland baseball history. Now, the weird thing about this is their attendance was terrible the year before, 600,000. And there were talks of taking the team elsewhere, moving from Cleveland. So they went promotion heavy for 1974. And because of beer night and other promotions, it worked. They reached 1 million fans, and the move out of Cleveland never happened.
Wow.
So beer night played a small part in keeping the team here.
That is a great story.
And
nice
now you know.
job with that.
50 years ago tonight.
That was awesome.
Wow.
The story was awesome.